Man, I'm so tired of getting my butt whooped, man. Let's see if we can win this one. We're against Rain here, and we're gonna go with the Sita team because Sigurd yet again. And this is pretty much the only team that I have that has NCD for this season. Whereas in last season, I have two teams that have null counter disrupt. I didn't expect to see this many Laylas, which is so bizarre, but she's actually fantastic on defense. I used to run her on defense myself, but the problem was trying to find the right partnership, the right pairing of units to make it work. But as you can see here, this is a really good partnership, Layla and Sigurd, because yeah, not only are you going to get hit with undefended, but the flash really makes it so that you can't save against it. And even if you have Micaiah, there are just so many debuffs in Astra Anima season that you can't override everything. This is plus 10 Layla here. Pretty good build, really good build. I was considering giving her Temple myself, but I decided to go with the fodder from Tamara, Time Skull's Echo. I decided that was better since it allowed her to have more consistent specials.
As you say.
And kind of avoid special decharge scowl effects a little bit better, because if her special is already charged, then she's just going to ramp into it if it gets scowled. So it made more sense. But then also the Temple Echo makes sense as well. So it's really options. You have options available. I think again Layla is going to age really well because of the undefended and the flash, unless we start getting, well, even if we start getting more
Let's enjoy this.
Units that can survive against her, no counter disrupt, stuff like that, she's always going to have the undefended, and that's, I feel like that is really valuable. But yeah, hopefully we can win this one. It's really going to come down to whether or not I'll be able to heal Neathogger. I don't know if I should start bringing Elamine or something so I can have, it's really valuable to have a healer on your team just so that you can heal mid-turn. Because as you've seen from the previous losses, that's really one of the big L's that I've been taking. Not having a healer on board. I was just checking here to see if the fail smoke splashes to two units or allies within 2 spaces, but it doesn't. But yeah, I we'll at least get Sigurd off the board, and then we'll have to figure out what to do with Gateau. He has the Celica ring, and Layla has the Lin ring. And both of those things are going to be, it's pretty much going to be Neathogger central after that. So I got to figure out a way to get her away from Becky so that she can then heal, and then I can, have Neathogger try to survive things. That's going to be the biggest problem here. The movement, luckily, not a ton of assist skills on these units. So it's not too unpredictable. Layla is the main unit with she has swap, so that's the primary thing that we have to watch out for. But she's away from Hathorn right now, and just gotta figure out how to take out this Ray. Jesus. Again, another reason why I brought the Sita team is because Ray is so bulky. It's so hard to kill. I haven't come up with a full strategy, but Brave hits seems to do Brave with armor effective damage seems to do the job. So we've gone for that on this go around. And yeah, once we get the range units off the map, we can, especially Layla. Once we get rid of Layla, the rest of it will be pretty straightforward.
Yes.
Oh, Ratatosker, how little you offer. God, I kind of don't want to lose this one because then I'll have to play again. It's so much to edit. It's so many videos to edit. Oh my God.
A festival, huh?
Man, it's so... Man, I was doing some testing against Rhea, and just like the offensive threats, the melee threats that we have in the game, trying to find the best way to approach taking her out, because if you have a properly supported Rhea, she just doesn't die, and it's so difficult. One of the options, of course, is to have Marissa, and then what I'm doing right here, Marissa plus someone who can armor effective damage works really well. Xander is able to take her out, but it really comes down to who's on the team supporting her, because if she's like, if there's a ton of stat support making her really, really bulky, if there's Divine Nectar, if she has a ton of stats, she just isn't going to die, which is what we saw in the previous matches, and also what I was seeing from Tessin as well. She's really difficult to take out without the Brave support, and I don't feel like that's the way forward, you know? We got Neithauger fully healed, so we're probably just going to have to put her in front to absorb the undefended status debuff, and then she still is going to be able to save everyone else. Even if she can't save herself, she'll be able to save everyone else, if that makes sense. Unfortunately, she's going to get hit with Flash, but she'll heal. Yeah, she's going to be able to heal because Ather is all the way over there, not within the 3x3, so we should be fine. I just got to figure out the layout here.
Well,
okay, this is going to take a while.
as you said.
Yeah, I don't feel like Brave hits are the way to go. I mean, naturally, whenever things get really bulky, we always end up relying on Brave hits to take them out, and that's what made the Catcher Ball so reliable in the past. But now that we're in, I don't know if it's a whole new meta or things are a little bit different, and the Catcher Ball isn't really the way to go, especially for like offense. What was I even doing on offense? How was I I think at the time, even if I was doing way more hit and run stuff, and then we had melee calves that could just do the job, but we don't really have too many of those that can take out Rhea, or not even Rhea, but just a lot of the near, like Marnie, for instance, that I just came across. Aside from Ira, there just aren't that many melee units that can actually like consistently take out some of the bulkier threats that we have in the game. And player phase at that. I was really, personally for me, my Crom is just failing because he doesn't have, I have to upgrade his kit, and it's so expensive, man. Haste Slice, Potent, I think is kind of becoming like one of the best skills for Brave Crom, or Fatal Smoke, because I personally like to have the Canto on Brave Crom, so I like to run the Canto minimum 2 in his B skill, B slot. Just so that he can run away if I need him to. But Potent is kind of, getting in there in terms of importance.
Understood.
It's starting to get up there. And then I also, what do I run for? No follow-up.
Let's enjoy this.
I feel like he needs that. But then also you can probably copy that from someone else, so that one's kind of 50-50. I could probably swap that out for the Fatal Smoke. I feel like that's really important in the Rhea matchup, so I might do that. But his problem right now is living the counterattack, and he's just getting blown up by Rhea's. Mine is, +1, no flowers, XL, and it's not enough. He's taking 99 damage consistently against Rhea's when he initiates, so I don't really know what to do. And Brave Crom has been my consistent initiator for Astra season at the very least, so it's looking like I either have to upgrade Brave Crom or find a replacement. And I was again looking at the options, and I was like, well, Xander can do it, but it's not always going to be Fire season, and as you've seen, it's also very inconsistent. Well, I don't really know if did he attack any Rheas? I don't think he actually did. It was Marnie and someone else, I forget who. But aside from Xander, I need someone that's blessable, and I don't know who that option is. I gave Nerthuz a try, Summer Nerthuz, and she was able to take out Rhea. Granted, with Miracle support, she was able to do it just because, damage reflection. But I feel like I should have probably invested a little bit more into her, because the one that I currently have is uninvested, not great, just base kit, and I feel like she needs a little bit more stuff to be able to consistently do that job. Maybe can Jimbro do it, take out Rhea? I don't know. I should probably give that a try. But yeah, Summer Nerthuz can do it with Miracle support. It's close, but I guess if you do some stat stuff, you can get it to work consistently. Especially if you have a Rhea that's Summoner Enthused that's really invested, you can probably get it to work. And then I tried the new Ather out. She doesn't take any damage from Rhea, which is good. It's really good. But also she didn't do any damage back. She doesn't have the damage reflection that Nerthuz has. What she has is a ton of bulk and healing, but damage-wise, just nothing there. And I guess there's Herthvelger. You can probably use her as well as an initiator. She's just not great for Gale Force. None of those 3 units are good for Gale Force team, which Kron can actually do. So that's kind of the role that I want to fill. It just isn't. It's just hard to fill that slot with a unit that can do what I want them to do, and there just isn't a cav that immediately comes to mind that can do that job. Yeah, that's why I'm kind of just hoping for the next banner to give us something a little bit better in terms of melee threat wise to fill that role. Legendary Sita also able to do it if you run Pavis and Fatal Smoke, or if you want to outsource the Null Miracle, you can do that as well. But it is tough taking out Rhea, man. It is actually super tough as the near saver. Yeah.
I'll pay them a visit.
Man. I know that Crown can do it, again, if you invest into him, but mine isn't, and I don't know when I'm going to do that. Yeah, don't know when. But I'm working on it. I'm working on it. I'll figure it out, man. I'll figure it out. I'm going to have to change my teams because they have just been getting brutalized. Like, a lot of them just not surviving, so I'm gonna have to change my teams for the next Astra season. Of course, naturally, since the Valentine's units are, pretty much out of it. Thank God we get rid of this Layla. It's gonna be a lot easier to, unless Rhea ends up on a defense style. But aside from that, things are gonna be a lot easier from here on out. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know what it's gonna look like. Alphonse, maybe? He's got a double. I don't see him doubling Rhea. He's so slow. I tried even Brave Erica because she has armor effective damage as well, but she dies in one shot, so also not great. I guess you could get her to work it again with Brave hits and Miracle support, but there's not that many slots on the team, and then hit and run is way harder now without the fence. Is way harder now than it used to be because of Ather, whose Divine Nectar effect is way more potentially damaging for your hit and run strategy than a Dancer was. Divine Nectar makes things so much more unpredictable because there's so much more possible combinations in terms of getting that swap effect or rally extra movement effect to go off. That it's way harder to do the running away part, which is why I guess Sakura was introduced to help counter that and make hit and run a little bit more consistent so that you can back a lot further away. So I guess that's probably why they did that. But then also, covering range is so much easier now in comparison to when Mirabilis was the Dancer on defense who was offering the extra action. And now you can even combine the two things. You can still have a Dancer and put them in the extra slot and still get a dance out of it so that you can chase down your opponents even better, even more consistently. Sigurd Ring, Celica Ring, those two things have played a really big part in making hit and run strategies not as, I want to say, not viable, but it's more difficult now, way more difficult, because It's really easy for defenses to chase you down now with all of those things combined. Extra movement, extra warping, extra actions. It's way easier for you to get chased down and for something unpredictable to happen. Mirabilis was really easy to decode, or the dancer was really easy to decode and understand what was going to happen, because typically if there's a 7th unit, the dancer is going to dance the 7th unit and you don't have to worry about anything else. The Divine Nectar doesn't take that into consideration, or doesn't even care about that, because the unit isn't moving. It's only going to work with who has moved and who is being threatened, and whatever shenanigans come about because of that. So it's hit and run. Not only are the melee tanks, or melee the tank busters, the melee frontline, the melee units that are used to like get through your save units, not only are they just not strong enough currently, but it's even more challenging to get them out of the way. And I feel like I want to say hit and run is kind of on the down, which means that I'm left to I kind of have to tank more, which is not preferable to hit and run, because the nukes that are in the game are so powerful that it's so easy to just blow stuff up. So man, it's really tricky. It's really we need ultimate. I feel like we need to get some type of cav unit that is powerful. I feel like that's what's missing. A cav that can actually take things out. Sigurd isn't the answer. Divine Nectar has pretty much put a stop to that. Sigurd isn't the answer.
I'll pay them a visit.
A festival, huh?
I wanted to try Ingrid, but I just don't have one that's invested enough to, really try that out. And then you're left with trying to partner someone with Sakura to hit and run that way, and even the melee units are struggling to take out Rhea. So I don't know, man. There just aren't, like, unless you're quadding, of course, unless you have the Marissa support. Is that the answer? Is that literally what we're gonna have to do? Marissa, Sakura, and someone that can actually in 4 hits take out Rhea? Like, and then warp 6 spaces away, potentially. But that's only for, like, Earth season. What are you gonna do when it's not Earth season? How are you gonna get rid of Rhea then? These are the questions that I need answered. That is the question. What do you do about Rhea? And that's kind of what I've been testing. I've been looking at Ather, as I said. I don't know if she's it. I haven't gone through the full gambit of units in my barracks just to see. Oh, Seliph. Brave Seliph did a really good job at surviving, whereas everyone else was dying. But he didn't get the KO. He did a ton of damage, but because Seliph scales off Rhea's defense, or the enemy's defense. So the good thing is, the bulkier they get, the stronger or the harder he will hit. And I think he has a lot of potential currently. It's just that I don't know. You just gotta figure out a team to work it. Again, brave hits. It's is it just all boiling down to brave hits? You need brave hits plus survivability plus escape.
Sprouting strike.
3 things, all on one team, plus mythics, plus maybe a far save. Worst come to worst. Oh boy. But still, I enjoy the puzzle. Ether Raids has become a challenge once again, and I am enjoying it. I like it. Or at least Anima Season has. Astra Season, Light Dark Season is kind of whatever. It's pretty straightforward there. But it's so bulky here in Anima Season, so many debuffs, it's kind of hard to figure everything out, and it's good. It gives you something to think about. And I don't mind having something to think
I'll
about
pay
because
them a
otherwise
visit.
I'd just be bored. So, yeah.
Oh, let's.
Currently waiting, as I
Sprouting
said, on
strike.
another banner. Give us something new, man. I want something else that could do something cool, something good
Understood.
with. Yeah, maybe if we have a unit that can clear
Of
the
course.
melee unit that can clear the res check. Maybe I haven't tried. Do I have any melee units that can high res, high defense? Oh, Alphonse come to mind. Nah, I don't think Alphonse is the answer. um, but yeah, I don't think I'm gonna get the other pot here, and I'm really just hoping that Ratatoskr is able to survive against Ather. I don't know. I might gamble a reposition here, just because
What shall we do?
I'm unsure. I think maybe we can box so that Ratatoskr doesn't get hit. We can put the snake in front there, and that. Oh, yeah. Saline is exposed. Man. Okay, we gotta do this. Yeah, she's gonna hit. I can't let her hit Marissa. Marissa will definitely die. Let's do this. And yeah, we're not getting the other pot. It's okay. It's fine. We can do a match where we only get one pot. It's fine. Tomorrow is the last day, and I think I have enough to not have to play doubles. Should be a single match again tomorrow. Oh, the time changed. I lost an hour. It skipped from 1 o'clock to 3. 2 o'clock did not happen. 2 a.m. did not happen this morning. At least for those of us in daylight saving time. Interesting. It's really weird to see it happen in real time. I was looking at the clock and I was like, where did 2 o'clock go? Where is 2 a.m.? Someone at 2 a.m. Yeah, Ratatoskr didn't die. At least she did something. GG's, man. Another tough match, but we were finally able to get a win.